going to be a reading for the Sun, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Keep in mind it will not resonate with everyone, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Don't force this so that you don't become confused. If you're interested in a personal reading, the information for that is listed below. Ooh. All right, my loves. Hi. Okay, Capricorn, your energy very distracted this week. Be careful, okay? Because I think you're going to be drawn to like Netflix or to relax a lot more than you usually are, which is because usually you're really good about that. But I think that you might pick up an energy of trying to avoid certain things. So just keep that in mind. The peak of where you can change when you catch yourself getting distracted. So like if you're texting someone and you know you're supposed to be doing something, or I don't know, if you know you need to be sleeping and you're trying to distract yourself with something, just things like that. Like the moment you catch it, that's the peak of it. All right, so like if you catch it there, you can change it. All right, so your energy for this week, your energy is the Ace of Swords. The general energy is the Two of Pentacles, and that's the energy that I'm talking about. So, but hopefully you go into clarity since it is the Ace of Swords. The problem this week is the Death card. The advice for the problem is the Eight of Swords, and then if you do take the advice, it's the Knight of Swords. You'll be able to move a lot faster, clearer. I think this is the problem, right? It's the Death card. There could be something that needs to change, needs to end. It could be, I also feel like a big change to your finances. It could be you having to sit down and kind of look at them. What you can and cannot afford. I also feel like when it comes to business or something like that, there's something you're not saying. So if you're struggling with money, maybe it's time for you to get a raise. Or like the economy, everything went up. You have to ask. Your employer needs to be able to keep up with that too. Especially if you've been working for them for a long time. You're allowed to ask. I feel like whoever I'm reading for, you're an amazing employee, and you have been very loyal, and I feel like you can get paid in other places a little bit more, but maybe your loyalty keeps you there. Let me see. Tell me about the Ace of Swords. Ace of Cups. Okay. Wow, you're going to have a lot of clarity coming in for you this week. So your energy is you yourself is going to feel, you're going to feel a little better. You might feel like you have more idea of how much you can save or what you can do with after you do sit down and kind of plan. I think maybe that's what's been lacking. You haven't really been organizing it and planning. Like there's something about a trip, or it could just be a move. Like if you're looking to move, then something isn't working and it's because of that. But I do feel like you're getting close to so much success. It's just the closer you get, the scarier also. Temperance. Wow, when it comes to love, I think it's pretty amazing. You could be connecting with someone that you feel like, be careful not to fall for that the beginning stages. In the beginning you always feel like your person takes their pain away, or like they take the frustration away or whatever. But I feel like that's not going to be the case. So try your hardest not to give in to that. It's just that you find better solutions because you let yourself receive. It's like you're opening yourself up and you're standing still. You're not stressing out. And when you're not stressing out, trying to nothing. So credit to anybody else. It's all you. 9 of Wands in reverse. It's you putting your wall down, because you do go back and forth often. Like, should I do this or should I do that? Because I think that all of life stuff is really stressing you out. So you're trying. Fun right now is very, like, you feel like it would be very irresponsible of you, but it's not. You're allowed to make money while you're having fun. I feel like some of you have like a business trip coming up or something like that. Or you've been spending a lot of money on business and you're starting to freak out. Some of you also need to, like, you guys could ask your accountant what could be written off. That way you don't freak out afterwards. You see, there is something about a trip, the Chariot. Whatever you feel stuck about, Capricorn, everything is falling into place. If you've been focusing on like money, that's definitely coming in. And I think it's going to be off of a creative solution. And it could be you just needing to ask for more money. Like, it doesn't have to be a huge shift or change. I think it could be small, but it could also be you cutting out fast food. And because when we don't care about ourselves and we put a bunch of junk, there's a reason why they call it junk food. Junk food. We put it's not good for us. Tell me about Death card. Tell me about the Death card. The Knight of Pentacles. See, you're moving very slowly towards a change, and also maybe even keeping some secrets from other people or when we know we're not happy, but we stay in a specific place and we pretend to be happy, we're hiding and omitting like important information from the person that we're in a relationship with for the relationship to actually be in order for the relationship to actually be successful. It doesn't work. It never works that way. Like, you can't keep it in and then get mad when the situation doesn't work out. So there's something about that. Maybe you feel unhappy, but you're also not speaking up and wording, like making it very clear what the thing is that's making you unhappy. So then it creates more problems. And again, that could be in work too, when maybe you're going to work every day, you're not happy, but it's because you're also not speaking up about the working condition, like the work conditions and what you find unfair. The Hermit. Some of you maybe had some time off of work or some time off of something, maybe even love, just to get like a little bit, or maybe you need it just to find a little bit of clarity, right? And so you don't feel so pressured by it, because something about this energy feels like the biggest thing about this, and that's the part that you're really scared of, because there's this knowing that as soon as you let whatever this is go, you're going to be able to take off. The Knight of Swords. But the biggest problem is that you're moving in the Knight of Pentacles energy. I think there's a part of you that's trying to be careful, but you're overly cautious. Like, it's too much. It's way too much. You don't need to be so scared, I guess. It's going to take you forever to get to wherever you need to get to if you're trying to be quiet the entire way there and not make a noise or not make a whatever. You know what I mean? It's kind of like tiptoeing through the floor because you don't want it to creak or you don't want it to whatever. Like, it's just going to take you forever. You're going to take a lot longer. Tell me about this Eight of Swords. The Five of Swords with the Four of Cups. See, there's some type of deception. I don't feel like somebody's being about what they really feel. Somebody feels tired in a connection, but I'm going to leave you high, and I know that you love me, or I know that you need me, and I love you too, and I love this job, but I just can't keep all of you. You've been adding too much. It's almost like, with food, if you add way too much salt at some point, it's just, you can't go back. You can't reverse it, right? To some food, you just can't. It doesn't matter how much more other shit you add. It doesn't do it. And it's kind of like that. Somebody feels like they... Tell me, what's the outcome if they do? So I feel like that's actually the advice, like to face that's what happened with this connection. And it could be that one person's very salty, but I feel like weight is lifted off their shoulders because they didn't like so much of what was going on, but they just kept putting up with it because they didn't know how to say no. They didn't know how to get away from it. Tell me about the Knight of Swords. The World. I thought I saw another one flip over. See, the advice is that this needs to end. Maybe you guys are always better off as friends, Capricorn, than going into a relationship that would be like this, because I feel like this would be it'd just be very chaotic for you. You know what I just noticed? That I didn't set this on public. So you guys must really want to be private right now, because I didn't even realize that I set the video on private. But you guys do. I think maybe that's what you guys need. You guys need to hermit for a little bit so you guys can get a clear thought of what you want. Because it, like, this person brings on a lot of what you want, but at the same time, it's too much. There's a lot of conflict. You feel like it's getting too toxic. Like I said earlier, it's like you can't undo it anymore. So you're trying to, I think in your mind, you're trying to figure out, am I going to be able? I think it's time. Especially because of the way that you feel now. You feel like the world is on your shoulder. It's so much pressure. And what was the reading? If it resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I love you guys. Praise to the Most High for allowing me to be your messenger. We'll talk soon.